welcome everyone to the Chompcast, the official podcast of Sword Chomp and swordchomp.com. Thank you for downloading or streaming our podcast, taking some time out of your busy life to listen to us. Remember, if you're digging the show, please subscribe and leave us a kind rating wherever you download the show. It really helps us reach out and find a bigger audience. My name is Morgan Barnes, live from my studio in Montana, and joining me from around the world is the crew of Sword Chomp. Let's get to some quick introductions. Got special ones this week, guys. Announced during the Nintendo Spot. Oh, Josh, I'm setting you up here. Are you ready for this? Announced during the Nintendo Spotlight event during a 40-minute gameplay demonstration that was awkward as hell, releasing in early spring 2018 for that sexy Switch, Joshua Fowler.
Hi.
Hello, Josh. How are you doing?
Okay.
He's apparently sexy.
I'm trying to play into this whole awkward thing. If you're going to set me up that way,
That's
Oh,
good.
good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're doing good.
You know.
Yeah.
Keep going,
No.
Josh.
No one does awkward like Nintendo. Appearing on Bethesda's press conference in a small teaser trailer for a fantasy-based mobile card game set in the world of Skyrim, releasing in just a few months on a mobile device near you, Shea Layton.
Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
Vroom vroom. How you doing, Shea?
I'm pretty good. Apparently, I just got a wash. I got buffed, whatever. I don't know
Buffed?
shit about cars, apparently. Whatever you say.
I was like, what are you talking
I don't
about?
know. My chrome is looking shiny.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Well, I
ready
like
for
to hear
people
it.
to be inside of me, apparently.
What is this? What is this car thing? Where are you getting this? What is it? Did I miss something?
Didn't you said a mobile car game, right?
No, mobile card.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes that much different.
I was wondering, like, why he seems so shocked. Well, Shay's in Japan, so our Skype connection can be a little spotty sometimes. We'll just
I'd
blame
rather
that.
be a mobile car game.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
And lastly, but surely not least, a new and exciting release from Nintendo and Mercury Steam. Your favorite bounty hunter exploring the boundaries of space after a controversial sex change from a fish species to a beautiful blonde female. Releasing this fall on the 3DS, Anthony Fisher.
Hello, let's get these Metroids under control.
Let's get these Metroids popping. I could swear you're going to go the popping route. I thought for sure.
Oh, okay. Let's pop them off.
I tried to line you guys up with, Josh is lined up with, like Mario. I tried to line Shea up with that Skyrim card game that apparently he doesn't know about because he just thought I was trying to say he was a car. So I tried. And then Fish, of course, Metroid. There you go. Samus. And,
I think that's fair. Respectable.
yeah.
Wonderful.
Decent lineups for you guys. And, it's Christmas for gamers, at least for me. Like, I love E3. We have a seminal show today as we will break down all of the E3 magic that has occurred over the past week. It is going to be a great fucking time. We have a lot to get to, no time to waste. Thought we'd start off here briefly, now that you guys are all discombobulated. Things that we whiffed on. Real quickly, there was no Halo, no Bloodborne 2, no Death Stranding anything, no Last of Us 2, no mobile announcements, really of note at all. How did you guys feel about the stuff that we were just doing it for fun, but I mean, there were some big surprises there, like no Bloodborne 2. That was weird. Overall,
Yeah,
how did you guys feel about that?
Our predictions were pretty far off, actually. If you go back and listen, they were not
I think we're about
very, very close.
50-50.
Yeah.
We had
That's
a couple
a
that were pretty
failing
good.
grade.
That is
That's
a failing
true.
grade. That's right. Professor Layton would fail us on that.
Uh-huh.
You know See, Josh cheated though
I
because
would.
one of his predictions was just people getting trampled to death. So, but he
Mhm.
did almost call the Destiny release date. So good for you.
Almost. It was a little bit more than a month instead of a little less than a month, but they did give us a date, and it was around a month later. So
Yeah,
close-ish.
And Fish, you called a Metroid.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 2 Metroids actually coming out, which is that's awesome.
So that's like bonus credit
job,
there.
Fish.
I think
Bonus, yeah.
we'll pass
Yeah.
with a gentleman's D.
Gentleman's D.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
If we were getting individual grades, Fish would have lucked out with double points. I actually predicted a Metroid 2, which would have bumped me up but then I also lost 2 with Bloodborne and a new Skyrim. So, kind of shocking. But overall, it was kind of a surprising thing that they're calling it a transitional year for E3 because it was a lot of familiar titles, not a lot of big surprises. So. But I think if anything that sets up next year to just be insane. But starting off E3 for the most part was, of course, the first major press conference. And I've organized this conversation as we can kind of flow through it kind of by press conference. And at the end, if there's any games I forgot, you guys will rein me in, I'm sure. And, we can fill in anything at the end that didn't kind of fit into that. Because some games were released just at random times. They weren't press conferences. Some of them were pre-shows and stuff like that. But the big thing that started it all off, as you guys know, Microsoft came out there, boom, press conference, and we finally got the Scorpio reveal. It is the Xbox One X is going to be the name.
Or
And,
as promptly abbreviated, Xbox.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
I was watching,
I didn't think they could pick a worse name than the Scorpio, but this is Microsoft we're dealing with. So, they decided to prove me wrong again.
They've come full circle, or as the internet has deemed it, 360.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll just call it the 360 from now on.
I was watching the press conference with Josh, and he was just like, fuck, are you fucking kidding me? We couldn't believe how bad the name was. What about you, Fish?
Yeah, that's just a terrible name. I mean, they went from 1S to 1X. I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
understand. What's with that lettering? What does the S stand for? What does the X stand for?
It obviously should have been T, or maybe XL, or I don't know.
Are those just the coolest letters in the alphabet that they could pick from, or what? I just don't understand why they went with that name. But it is a transitional. It's not a full upgrade of a console, so I guess they have to divide it up, and instead of just calling it the Xbox 1.5, I don't know where you would go with that. Wouldn't the S be like the 0.5, and then this would be the 2.0 essentially? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's just fucking weird.
I think that's a good point, Fish. I think they trapped themselves in a weird spot because PS4 got out there quickly, and the PS4 Pro is not the best name ever, but it's at least easier to digest. And I think Microsoft, they couldn't have called it the Scorpio, because then you have people going into the store do my Xbox One games work with this new Scorpio thing? I mean, a whole new name would have been confusing. And then at the same time, imagine how I heard someone say this, and it was, I thought, on point. How confused grandmothers and family members are going to be when their kid asks for the system this year, and they're in a GameStop looking around there's an Xbox One, there's an Xbox One S, there's an Xbox One X. What did old Timmy want? It's just it's a clusterfuck. So good luck for them, on trying to sell those things out. But I assume that if there's someone hardcore enough to want one, they'll seek it out and they'll find it.
Yeah, there's definitely some interest out there for it. Name aside, I think that one really cool thing about it is that they're going to allow their basically their library from the original Xbox all the way till now to be played on that, and I think that's huge. I think that's something that Xbox was it's one of the few things they had over the PS4 is being able to play some of those games on backwards compatibility now that they're making them all eligible to play. I think that's one really good thing, despite how you may feel about Microsoft or Xbox in general, and I think that's missing from the other systems, really.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, me and Josh were watching the conference, and like I think the name is bad, but that doesn't mean that reflect anything on like not in general. I thought the press conference was actually really good, and me and Josh were watching it, and I'm not even kidding you. As Josh pointed out to me, the most applause the entire press conference went to the announcement that it was going to be backwards compatible for Xbox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, people
I
want
mean,
that.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, though, it's been a while since, well, yeah, I guess it's been a while since people have been able to play those, especially as a downloadable thing. Which, I mean, the PlayStation and Nintendo online stores have had a lot of success by going back and re-releasing old games. So, it's about time Microsoft got on that boat.
It's true.
But
yeah, it's a smart decision, but it was one of the things in there, in their press conference that was getting people all excited, which is just funny when you think about the nature of, the most excitement coming from the fact that people can go play 10-plus-year-old games again. It's just interesting. But yeah, it was overall though. Me and Josh sat there and watched the whole press conference. It was actually really entertaining for the most part, and they kicked it off with Forza 7. Which, I know none of us are really that big on Forza here. It's just a gorgeous racing game, but it's another one of those Forza games. And then so they went into one big announcement. I don't know if you saw this, Fish, but they announced that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was going to be exclusive on console, at least for now, to the Xbox One.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's such a big audience out there for that game as is. I'm curious to see if like Xbox One X will have some sort of streaming feature tied to it, where an app kind of like what PlayStation has, PlayStation Live, which is I believe that you can sign into like your Twitch account and stream from your PlayStation. I wonder if they're going to have that type of service on the Xbox One X. Because, it seems like that game, just everybody likes to just stream it out to, their friends and any of their, people who visit their channel. So, I mean, it's a big game as is, and a lot of people like watching other people play the game as well. So, for it to come to console, that it can only do better, I guess, for that small team out there.
Yeah, seems like a big get for them.
Yeah, I think there's space for games like that too, to be able to re-release on consoles without it really. I think there's a big enough market that it's not really going to be an issue. It's to move into there. So.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's a big get for them. So that's pretty cool because everyone's talking about that PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds game this year. I snuck this into the Microsoft thing, even though it really wasn't. It was the day before. But both Josh and Fish had mentioned that A Way Out was one of their favorite games of the show. Now, it was actually the day before. I believe it was EA. But there wasn't a lot of other exciting things announced at the EA conference, so I just kind of slid it into here for discussion's sake. But basically, it's like a prison escape game. It looks like it's designed to be played entirely cooperatively with somebody. But yeah, Fish and Josh both had this as one of their favorite games of the show. So I'll throw it to you first, Josh. I mean, what looks so appealing about this for you?
I mean, to start out with, it's by the same developer as Brothers, which is just an amazing game and kind of the opposite, really, because it's a single player only game.